Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for Detour 25, and this is Celestial Command. Now, when I first saw this game, or saw the name, I kind of expected a strategy game of some type, but it actually turns out to be a survival game. Um, and as you can see, it's in early access, so it's pretty bare bones, I guess, to an extent. But it's still rather interesting. Now, what's interesting about this game is that you have a spaceship made out of modules that you can rearrange and you can build upon and such. But it features orbital mechanics, which I have not seen in another survival game. Now, if you've played Kerbal Space Program, you should be familiar with orbital mechanics, and it's pretty simple, or it's pretty similar to that. Although it takes place in 2D, so it's just on a two-dimensional planes. It's not in 3 dimensions like Kerbal Space Program, so it's a bit more simple. Now, the tutorial goes over how the game works, but we're going to jump into single player, start a survival mode. And there are 2 modes. Aerodynamic space, which is just you move in a direction and your ship goes in that direction, and then as you let go of the stop boosting in a direction, you stop. And there are no orbital mechanics in this mode. And then you have the orbital mechanics mode, of course, which uses proper orbital mechanics. And we're going to have a look at both of these because they are a bit different beyond the control scheme. I'm just going to call it a new world. There's a bunch of settings you can do. I'm not entirely sure what most of them do, like this. Oh, I guess. Oh, that's better. You can change the amount of stations, the amount of asteroids, yeah, some other things. So in this mode, basically, it's like space is full of air that causes friction, slows you down when you're not thrusting. So let's start this first. Have a look at what it looks like. So we have a sun in the middle, we have some planets, but most of the action takes place outside the edge here. You can see that we have 1 allied sector. We have a bunch of enemy sectors. We can spawn in a small mining ship, which is the only option. It looks like this. This is what you get in the tutorial and in the orbital mode as well. We have a station. We have an asteroid. This blue circle is our scanning range, and you can see that we started in the green sector. These are stations, and this sector is fine, but the other ones are have hostile ships in them. Over at the station, we have a bunch of options. We can take missions, which can be, the only ones I've seen are module retrieval and destroy enemy ships. That might be all there is for now in this early access version. You can see you get paid for them. You have time, a certain time to do the mission, and then you have a certain time to actually accept the mission before they are replaced by other ones. There's a trade menu. You can buy and sell various goods. Most of them are minerals. You can also mine from asteroids. But you can't just buy them here. You can see there are buy prices, and they vary with the availability. So the availability for example, nickel is low on this station, so the price is rather high. So buying would be a bad idea here. But if you go to some other station where nickel availability is high, you can buy it at a lower price and then come back here and sell it here to make a profit. Or just mine them for free at the asteroids. So let's fly over to this asteroid here. And as you can see, we just fly in a straight line towards the asteroid and then slide down to a halt. Now, asteroids can have multiple minerals in them. So far, I've just seen 2, I think. So this one has silver and copper. And you can see from this ring out here where each mineral is. It's divided into these segments. On our ship, we have a grabber and a mining laser. We have 2 solar panels. We have a bunch of storage crates, and we can click this to show them. We have 2 tanks, which store hydrogen, which is our fuel. And we have a battery, which stores power, obviously. We have a bunch of food. We have 2 crew members. And we can show them by clicking this button here. We have our pilot, Abigail Duncan, and an auxiliary crew member. I'm not sure what he does, called Ethan Freeman. We get some information on them here. Don't know if these do anything yet. Haven't played enough to figure that out yet. There's a bunch of buttons in the interface. Some of them are gone over in the tutorial. I'm not going to go into them too much. What we can do is we can press O to extend our solar panels, and if we select one of them, we can see the hotkey for that here. We can switch direction on them. If we go into here, we have a button here called Direct Solar Panels, which will turn them facing forward. And we can see here that we are producing 213 units of power, and this is our net gain or loss. We are currently using 0. Now if I select our mining laser, we can toggle it, and this is bound to 1, and the hotkeys of course work even if you don't have that module selected. So O affected both of these solar panels even if I only had selected 1. So we can press 1 to turn on the mining laser. We're slightly too far away. There we go. So now you can see that we are gaining copper, and as we're getting closer, the mining laser gets more effective. Now you can see that it stopped, and this segment vanished because we depleted it. So you have to go around the asteroid to mine all of the minerals. Now this is actually a little easier to do in the orbital mode because the asteroids aren't completely stationary. They are orbiting the body, and they are also usually rotating, so you don't have to go around them like this, which would be a lot more annoying in orbital mode. So fortunately they aren't usually spinning. But we can go around the asteroid like this, and we can switch side for our solar panels so they are facing the sun, so we keep getting power. Switch them over again. Okay. And when the asteroid is depleted, it crumbles. See there. So now you can see we have a bunch of copper, we have some silver in our storages. We can either head back to the station or we can mine some more. We probably mine some more. Let's fly in this direction, see if we can find another asteroid. These ones, as you can see, the large ones are not mineable. You only see the mineable ones when you get them in your scanning range. We probably don't want to head into the hostile sector because we don't have any weapons except the mining laser, which is really short range, and I don't even know if it does any damage to ships. It might, it probably does, but it's not an effective combat weapon. It doesn't have nearly enough range to be of any use. Okay, we have some iron over here. We're not going to spend too much time in this mode, because I also want to show the orbital mode. Before the video becomes too long. So we have some nickel here, but mostly iron. You also have to be wary of your storage crates, because each or container, because each container can only store one resource. So we can only have one empty one, so we can pick up one new resource. But then we can only pick up ones we already have until the storages fill up. And you can see that they can store 20 units of a resource at most. And that's probably volume and not weight or mass. Would make sense. We're in space, so it doesn't tell you the unit. It does say what the mass is down here, though. I think that's for the module. But these are corridors. I guess they store some as well. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is between that and the cargo containers. What are they called? Yeah, cargo container. It's a little weird that you can see that it says cargo container 4. The numbers are reversed, so the lower the number, the lower the tier, and the higher the number, the better the container is. So here we have an asteroid with nickel, silver, and ice. Oh, it does have 3 things. Asteroids can have more than 2 resources in them. I wish I had a second mining laser. We don't have room for ice, because as you can see, it stores more than 20. Oh, the corridors store 20. The crates can store, containers can store more than that. So does that make sense? Looks like they can store 80. Oh, we're out of power. That's where's the sun? There. Are we not getting any sunlight? Panel's facing the right way. Why aren't we getting power? Okay, there we go. I guess it was because we were behind these things. Oh, that is mineable. Wait, what? Is there something here that I can't see? Oh. Okay, So apparently you can select things. Sometimes they're outside your scanning range, which is a bit odd. I would you can see the ship is modular, obviously, and at a station you have a shipyard. We'll hopefully have a look at that in a bit, where you can buy more modules and you can move install them on the ship. You can move modules around, you can sell them. There's a lot of modules that are well, we've run out of storage space for silver, unfortunately. We could we let's eject that iron, the puny amount of iron, mine more silver. Kind of would like it to go in there. I guess it goes into the closest one. But yeah, we'll mine the rest of the silver in this asteroid. And then we are going to head back to the station. The thrusters are apparently not centered because they are, when I try to boost to the sides, the ship is rotating. So it's not an ideally constructed starting ship we have. So let's go to the station, just over here. We're going to, let's fold away our solar panels so we don't destroy them. I have done that accidentally. Bonked the solar panels into the station when tried to dock. We're going to request docking permission. One of the docking ports around the sides light up. I think it's the same one. You don't have other civilian ships moving about, so you're pretty much the only crew in a ship other than the hostile ones that I've seen so far, at least. Now that we're docked at the station, we can go into the trading menu. We can move this out of the way a little bit. I want to see, there we go. Okay. So we have iron. I can't really, okay, that will do, I guess. So we have copper. Pretty sure that's copper, yeah. Which it doesn't look like they are buying on this station. They don't trade in copper. They do trade in silver though, and it looks like that is actually pretty low, so we might be able to make a decent amount of money on that. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think the camera shifting there is because of our center of mass changed. Cobalt is pretty sought after as well. We'll sell that. Actually, that was nickel, not cobalt. And iron, pretty low, I guess. We do have quite a bit of it, so yeah. There we go. We made pretty hefty amount of credits on that. Let's go into the shipyard. We can see all the modules that there are. We have storage, and storage container 4 is the lowest one. It doesn't say what the capacity is, unfortunately. But we can see here that it's 80 for the 4. And we can see on the price that... Oh, 3 is actually cheaper. That looks like that. Alright, you can pan the camera around by holding the middle mouse button. I've forgotten about that. This looks slightly smaller. And then we have 2 and 1, which is quite expensive. Can't even select that one, of course. So I'm assuming that this is the best one because it's so expensive and it's locked behind the reputation. Probably same thing with this one. The game could do with giving you more information about certain things. Most things have a decent description, but some things could use, like the storage, could use some numbers. Like it told you in the tooltip what the capacity is before you buy it. Would be nice. Tempted to get this. Oh, that's actually quite massive. Probably uses power too. I'm not entirely sure what build points are. I also can't actually place this anywhere. Okay. Oh. Whoops. Oh, okay. I can sell it back for the purchase price. We have a turret mount here, turret platform. We have a bunch of weapons. The only one we have access to is the ballistic cannon 2. The other ones require reputation. Let's put on a couple of these and buy some ballistic cannons. Now, for the cannons, we're also going to want to buy some ammo. So let's buy 80 ammo. And we also want to connect... Let's see, where did the... Oh, I can't buy 80 ammo. Right. Oops. Abort. Let's buy a bit less ammo, because I don't have that much money. Let's buy, say, 30. Yeah. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to connect... Oh, wait. How did you... I've forgotten how the... connections work. Oh, we're out of food. Oh dear. Probably want to use our last money to buy food as well. What? Yes, I am. What? What happened? Did the crew die? Or something? No? Fine. Why can't I control this ship anymore? Oh. I think I disconnected the command module from the ship. Oh, that's why they ran out of food. They lost connection to the food. Okay. Well, that was interesting. So, now we should be able to do this. So I want that, right. And then I want to connect the turrets to the ammo storage. And then we have an extra bunch over here. Actually, let's transfer that to there and then connect these to that. So let's see if we have any missions. Destroy enemy ship. Let's take that one. And then over here we have our mission. Pirate carrier. So we're going to head on over there, and I think I said that I wanted to show the other mode as well. We'll do this, and then we are going to do that. So the turrets, as you can see there, we have two arcs, one on each side of the ship, and they kind of intersect in this triangle here. There's our target. Oh. Looks like they shot something there. So that is our target. It's probably going to shoot back. Yeah. Turrets not fighting? Why are the turrets not firing? Oh. Well, we are completely out of engines. Okay, that did not go well. I'm not... We're out of food. Oh, our food storage was destroyed. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there. See, this was a little bit bigger than I expected. They have a shield generator. They have lasers. Corner. Yeah. I'm not sure what that looks disconnected. Okay, I think I was not prepared for this. What is... Oh, warp drive. Huh. Yeah. Still shooting at our command module, which will die eventually. Probably lose, I suppose. Yeah. So we can respawn. Don't know what they're shooting at now. We're actually going to exit to the main menu, and we're going to start a new game in the orbital mechanics mode. We'll show how that looks quickly. So we have the starting ship. As you can see, the world looks a lot different. We have a bunch of planets now orbiting a star with proper orbits. We have asteroids around the planet. We have stations also orbiting the planet. And now if I boost, we can see that it's going to modify my orbit. And I can select one of the asteroids to see its orbit. We can kind of sync up our Apple apps with it. And since we're on the inside, we're actually moving faster than that. But we should reach some asteroids on that side. Anyway, we have a bunch over here. I need to speed up time a bit to show how it goes. So here's a bunch of asteroids. And we have one over here. And as you can see, it's rotating. This one has ice and iron. That one also has ice and iron. But yeah, I think you get the idea. I haven't played a whole lot in this mode yet. The one time I did, I managed to crash into a station and destroy one of my solar panels, which turned out to be rather expensive to replace. One thing I would like is if there was a planning mode similar to Kerbal Space Program that let you plan out synchronizing orbit with a target beforehand, because it's a little tricky, and I really appreciate that in Kerbal Space Program, and it's noticeable not having it in here. Maybe you'll make it into the game eventually, but it's an interesting game to say the least. And I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it, see how it develops. And that's going to be the video. So, with that, I will see you next time.